Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Gerry the Giraffe crochet along. We're so excited to have you here. Make sure you check out part 1 before watching this part. In this part 2, we're going to be making the body, the arms, the legs, the tail, and the spots. So let's jump right in. Alright, so next we're going to start off with the body. So we're just going to start off with our color A yarn, and we're going to start off with a magic ring. So just make your magic ring, and then inside the magic ring we're going to place 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're just going to pull that tight. And there is round 1. So we're going to place our stitch marker here. Now moving on to round 2, we're going to do an increase round. So 1 increase stitch in each stitch around, and an increase stitch is 2 single crochets in 1. So at the end of round 2, you should have 16 stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there is round 2. Now for round 3, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and increase. So single crochet and an increase. We'll repeat that a total of 8 times, and you should have a stitch count of 24 at the end of round 3. So increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, all the way around. Last one, increase. All right, now moving on for rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, so 11 rounds total. We are going to do single crochet 24, so that's 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so just like that all the way around for rounds 4 through 14, and then I will meet you back here for round 15. Alright, so this is what we're looking like here. I'll bring you in a little bit with our first row 1 to 14 of our body. So moving on to round 15, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase, and we'll repeat this 8 times for a stitch count of 32 at the end of round 15. I will finish this round off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 16. Alright, so moving on to round 16, we're going to do a single crochet 32. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around for each single crochet from the previous round, so 32 single crochets. All right, moving on to round 17, we're going to do the combination single crochet 3 and increase. So 1, 2, 3, and increase. We'll repeat that 8 times. 1, 2, 3, increase. And we should have 40 stitches at the end of round 17. So I will complete this round off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 18. All right. Now for row 18, we're going to do single crochet 40. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around, 2, 3, 4. So I'll finish this round off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 19. All right, and moving on to round 19, we're going to do the combination single crochet 4 and increase. 2, 3, 4, and an increase. And again, we're going to repeat this 8 times, and we should have a stitch count of 48 at the end of round 19. 2, 3, 4, increase. All right, so this is what we're looking like up to round 19. So moving on for rounds 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, so 6 rounds, we're going to do single crochet 48. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around for the next 6 rounds. So I will finish these rounds off camera and then I will meet you back here for round 26. All right, so this is what we're looking like up to round 25. So we have the base majority of our body completed. So now we're going to start decreasing back down. So for round 26, we're going to do the combination single crochet 4 and a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease, same way we usually do, grabbing the front loop of those next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through. And we're going to repeat that a total of 8 times for a stitch count of 40 at the end of round 26. 4, decrease. All right. Moving on to round 27, we're going to do single crochet 40. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around for round 27. 4, 5, 6. I'll finish this round off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 28. All right, so moving on to round 28, we are going to do the combination single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. And again, we're going to repeat this a total of 8 times. And your stitch count should be 32 at the end of round 28. 2, 3, decrease. So I will finish this off camera and I'll meet you back here for round 29. All right. Now moving on to round 29, we're going to do the combination single crochet, or sorry, we're just going to do single crochet 32, not a combination, just single crochet 32 around for the entire round of 29. So I will finish this off camera again, and then I'll meet you back here for the next step. All right, now one more round we'll do. You could start stuffing now if that's your preference. I personally like to stuff with around 24 stitches around left. So we'll do one more round. So round 30 is going to be a combination single crochet 2 and decrease. So 1, 2, decrease. And we're going to repeat this 8 times again, and your stitch count should be 24 at the end of this round. All right, so that is what our body is looking like now. All right, so once we're at this point, we are going to stuff the body now. So it's just really important that you make sure that the neck portion, which is this skinny tall piece at the top, is well stuffed, because that's going to be basically what holds the head up and not flopping around. But you also don't want to overstuff by any means. So if you notice your stitches are splaying and you can see the stuffing from the outside, then you've probably stuffed too much. So I'm just adding a bunch of stuffing in here. And I just like to sweep it all to the sides. There we go. And I will stuff again once more before we're finished, but that's kind of where I want it for now before we move on to round 31. All right, so moving on to round 31, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and a decrease. Now you may find it's more difficult to crochet with the stuffing in. That's kind of why I leave mine as long as I can, because I don't like crocheting with all the stuffing in. But just take your time, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, and decrease, all the way around. All right, and then we're going to do the final round, round 32, which is going to be a full decrease round. So 8 decreases for a total stitch count of 8 at the end of round 32. All right, I'm just going to take my stitch marker out. I'm going to place a slip stitch here, and I'm just going to cut a small strand of yarn and pull that tight. Now if you need to add any more stuffing here, now is the time to do so, just in the bottom to make sure that that's filled out. It doesn't have to be a lot. Here we go. And then once that is all done, I'm just going to grab my smaller furls 4.5 millimeter, and I'm just going to go in and grab underneath the front loop of each stitch around, grab that yarn tail and pull it through. Now this yarn has been pretty friable, coming apart really easily, so I may have to just add a couple knots for this one to make sure it closes fully. Here we go. But I will add a knot so you can see all this yarn is coming apart here. Love the look of this yarn, but man, it can be difficult to work with for sure. And then I'm just going to weave in those ends. And there is our completed body. All right, so once we have completed the body, we're going to attach it to the head. Now we're going to just grab a spare strand of about 12 to 16 inches of your yellow yarn, and we're going to attach this to the darning needle first. Now for our head placement, we want to attach the head around between rows 10 to 12. This is really personal preference where you want it to be placed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from here, between here and here, starting up until row like 16 to 18. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about here. So 10 to 16 I kind of like. If you want to make it a little bit further, you can do 12 to 18, whatever you think. But I think for me, I'm going to do my 12 to 16. So it's going to kind of look like this, right in the center there. Now we are going to attach, just find whatever side you want to be the front. And we're just going to attach our yarn here to rounds 3. Or 4, whatever you find is better. Maybe we'll do 4. And I'm just going to pull that through a little. Now this is going to be my front of my body here, where I put my strand of yarn. And so once I'm happy with that, I have seen people stick, knitting needles down to hold this in place while they crochet it on, or while they sew it on. You can absolutely do that. I'm going to try and just freehand it, but you do what is best for you and what's easiest. I've never actually used knitting needles, so maybe that's something I have to try out. But I'm just going to basically go around back and forth between the body, and you can pull it tight until I am happy with where it's placed. Now I will just quickly run to the back before I continue on with the front. And I'm just going to place a little stitch to make sure that I'm kind of staying on track here. So I want to make sure my head is straight. I'm just going to place a couple stitches back here to make sure I'm straight with where I want it to be. And then I'm just going to work my way around the head, sewing this on. right, so there is my head sewn on. And now I personally like to bring the snout down a tad to just make sure that you can see the face. So I'm going to use this other side of the yarn tail here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push it down. I'd like to go down maybe 3 rounds. And I'm just going to basically grab into the head here where it's going to meet up. And then I'm going to go back into the body like this, and it's just going to bring the head down. And then I'm just going to push that back in towards where I pushed my other, and that will just keep the head down. So I'm just going to tie this off here. And then I'll just cut that yarn. And I'm just going to weave that in. And there is our head attached to our body. All right, so moving on, we are going to work on the arms. So we're going to start off with our color B yarn. So whatever you used for the top of your antenna, that's what you're going to use for this part. And we're going to start off with our magic ring. And then inside the magic ring, we're going to place 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll just pull that tight and place our stitch marker. Now moving on to round 2, we're going to do an increase round. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around for a total of 12 stitches at the end of round 2. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For round 3, we're going to do the combination single crochet, increase. So single crochet and increase. And this is going to be repeated 6 times. And your stitch count should be 18 at the end of round 3. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and once more, single crochet, increase. And there is round 3 complete. For round 4, we'll do single crochet 18. So 1 single crochet around, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now for row 5, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and a decrease stitch. So we're going back down now, single crochet and a decrease. We're going to repeat that 6 times for a stitch count of 12 at the end of round 5. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, And once more, single crochet, decrease. Now moving on to round 6, we're going to do the combination single crochet decrease again, but we're going to just do it 4 times for a stitch count of 8 at the end of round 6. So single crochet decrease. Now after you've done 2, we're just going to take the moment here to stuff. So just place a little bit of stuffing here. Doesn't need too much, just something to keep its shape before we get tinier and harder to stuff when it's tinier. All right, and then we'll just finish the last 2 single crochet decreases, single crochet, decrease, and single crochet, decrease. Now we're not going to finish off this last decrease stitch because we're going to be changing color again. We'll grab our color A yarn again, and we're just going to finish off that stitch there. I'm just going to cut my brown, and on the inside here I'm just going to tie these ends together. And now we have our new color on for the next rounds. So moving on for rounds 7 through 16, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 10 rounds, we're going to do single crochet 8. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and then as you go, every few rounds, just keep stuffing, just don't overstuff. So just to keep the shape, but not so it's rock hard. So I will complete these rounds off camera, and I will meet you back here at the end of round 16. All right, so this is what we're looking like after we finish up to round 16, which is our last round. So I'm going to just remove my stitch marker here. I'm going to place my slip stitch right next door, and I'm going to cut about a 12-inch strand and pull that through. Now I did stuff as I went. I'm just leaving the last row, maybe 2 rows open and not stuffed, just for when I sew on, so it's not super duper bulky. Now we're going to need 2 of these, so just go back and make 1 more, and then we will meet back here and attach them to the body. All right, so I have created 2 arms, and now we're going to attach them to our body. So I'm just going to bring the body over here. Sorry, it's sideways, it's the only way. I mean, I can do this too. So basically we are going to be attaching the arms here way down past the neck. So we're going to be on rounds about 14 to attach our arms. So I'm going to just count down. So we attached up to round 4 to the head. So this is round 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is round 14 here. And we're going to just place our arms right on that marker. And you want to be, pretty much in line with your ear here. So I'm just going to place a couple fabric pins and make sure that that's where I want it to be. And then I'm just going to attach my darning needle here to my yarn end. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm basically just going to attach this to the top of round 14. And sew that on. Now I personally like to have my arms sewn down a little bit. I don't like when they flop around. And of course my yarn is again falling apart on me. So I'm just gonna have to cut this. And I'll just go back on here. So what I like to do is I just don't like when it does this. So if you like that, then that's fine. Just leave it as is. But if you don't, I'm just going to secure mine down. So basically what I like to do is I just like to place my arm down where I'd like it to be and kind of mark where I want to go. So I'm going to just go underneath here and into that spot that I just marked. And then I'm going to line it up with the area on the arm. And I'm going to just go through a few stitches on the arm. And then I'm going to go right back in a couple stitches over from where I first went in. And then I'm going to push this to the back. And that's just going to keep my arm in place, which is kind of what I like. So just repeat this for the other arm, and then we will move on. All right, and there are our arms all attached. So next we will work on the legs. All right, so for the legs, we're going to start off again with our color B yarn, so our brown. And we need our 5.5 millimeter hook. And we're going to make a magic ring. In the magic ring, we're going to place 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we'll just pull that through and place our stitch marker. Now moving on to round 2, we're going to do the combination, we're going to do an increase round. So increase stitch in each stitch around, and you should have 16 stitches at the end of round 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And that is round 2. Now for round 3, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and an increase. Single crochet and an increase. And we're going to go around and repeat that a total of 8 times again. And you should have a stitch count of 24 at the end of this round. Increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. Go, and that is round 3. Now for round 4, we're going to do single crochet 24. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around. All right. Moving on to round 5, we're going to do the combination single crochet 1 and decrease. So we're decreasing back down now. So single crochet 1 and a decrease, single crochet, decrease, and we're going to repeat this a total of 8 times. And your stitch count should be 16 end of this round. All right. Now moving on to round 6, we're going to do the combination single crochet 2 and a decrease. So 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease. I'm going to do it one more time. 1, 2, decrease. But we're not going to finish off our last stitch here. We're going to change colors again into the yellow. So we're going to just cut our yarn there. We'll grab our color A yarn here. Yarn over and pull through to finish that stitch and change our color. Tie a quick knot here. And we should have 12 stitches right now. So moving on for rows 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, so 7 rounds, we are going to do single crochet 12. Now you can stuff this foot here with a little bit of fiber fill, and then you can continue to stuff as we go on. It will be, wide enough that you can still stuff if you choose not to stuff right now. So I will complete rounds 7 through 13 off camera, and then I will meet you back here for the final round. All right, so this is what we're looking like up to round 13, and I've just stuffed my center here. So we'll just do the last round, which is going to be 6 decreases. So we're just decreasing all the way back down to 6 stitches. 1, oopsies, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remove our stitch marker. We're done with that. And we'll just place a slip stitch as we usually do. We need about 12 inches to sew on. Just pull that through. Now we will need 2 of these, so just head back and make 1 more, and then we will meet back here to sew them onto the body. All right, so we have made 2 legs, and now we will sew them on. Just need our darning needle here, and we'll need our body. So we are going to be attaching our legs to rounds 25 to 27 of the body here. So I'm just going to count back again from our arm, which we attached to round 14. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 25 is right here. 25, 26, and 27. And we're going to do it directly in line with our arm. So I'm just going to take one of my legs and my darning needle. So it's going to sit like this. So most importantly, I just want to make sure that we're in line with the arm. And then I'm just going to start sewing this on. to rounds 25 at the top. This guy's quite humongous, so it's kind of hard to sew on like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I kind of want these to not be flopping, so I'm going to secure them down. And I'm actually going to secure them down further than I initially decided. So I'm going to secure them down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 to 6 rows. So I'm just going to push my needle down here like this. And then I'm just going to grab my yarn or my leg, pull it through, just like that. And there is one leg attached. Then I'll just do the exact same thing with the other side. All right, so that's what we're looking like right now. Now I'm just going to tie a knot here, and this is going to make sure that that stays in place. And I'm just going to cut my yarn. And then I'm just going to weave that in. Here we go. And there are our legs attached. All right, we're almost near the end here. One of the last things here we're going to make is the tail. So we're going to take our color A yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. Now from the slip knot here, we are going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Next, we're going to skip this very first chain that's closest to our hook, and in the second chain from the hook and every subsequent chain down the line, we're going to place 1 single crochet. So if we're skipping the first one, we should have a total of 9 single crochets down the lane here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Just gonna cut our yarn. I'm just gonna yarn over, pull that through, and then I'm gonna tie our 2 yarn ends together here at the top. Go. So there is our tail. Very, very simple to make. Now, if you want to leave it blank like this or plain, you can. But if you want to add a little bit of hair to the bottom, if you're using bulky yarn, I would suggest maybe getting a type of cotton yarn for this. The brown's probably not going to be exactly the same. For me, it's not, but that's okay. I think adding a little bit of hair on the tail is kind of nice. So all we're going to do for that is we're just going to take some cotton yarn. This is a size 3 cotton yarn from Hobby. It's called Rainbow. And what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap the yarn around our hand here, like maybe 5 or 6 times. Like that. And then I'm just going to cut that. And you're left with these kind of strands of yarn here. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tail that I just made, and you can take 1 strand, you can take 2 strands. I'm just going to grab those strands, leave a loop, and then I'm going to go through the loop and pull through those ends like that to create a little bit of hair. And we really don't need to put too much on. It's really personal preference how much you want to put on here. Just going to get this one out of my way. There we go. And pull that through. And then I'll probably just do 1 more in the middle. There we go. Just like that. And then I'm just going to cut that to trim it. So you just have a little bit of hair on the end. Now you can leave it as is. You can comb it out. Sometimes I like to comb it out so it looks more like hair. So I just take my darning needle and I just go through strands and pull them apart a bit. Or you can use a metal bristled brush for this as well if you want it to look like actual hair. There, I think I'll probably leave it like that. And then we are just going to attach it to our body. So just going to bring in my body. I know it's very close up. I'll just bring you out a tad. Now we're going to attach the tail to round 21 of the body. So I'm going to just use my landmark of my 14 here from the arms. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 21 is right here. And I just want to make sure that that is centered. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to place my darning needle on like that. And I'm just going to sew this on. Just like that. And then I'm just going to attach this one. If I can, even though it's falling apart on me here. I'm going to bring it over here. And it is falling apart on me, of course. And then I'm just going to tie those ends together as best I can. And then I'm just going to weave that in. And there is our tail. all attached. All right, we're almost there. The very final thing that I like to add here is the spots for our giraffe. So we're going to be making 3 different sizes. So we'll make all 3 sizes and then we will put them all on at the same time. So for the first size, which is the smallest one, we're going to be making 3 of these. So to do this, we're going to make a magic ring. Inside the magic ring, we're going to place 6 single crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull that tight. Place our stitch marker. Round 2 of this small spot is an increase round. So increase stitch in each stitch around. 1, 2. So you should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that is the first spot. So I'm just going to slip stitch, cut a 12-inch strand of yarn, pull that through. So that is the smallest size. So make 3 of those, and then we'll move on to the next size up. So for the second size spot, we're going to start off again with a magic ring. And once we have our magic ring, we're going to place 8 single crochets in the round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Place our stitch marker. For round 2, we're going to do an increase round again, so 2 single crochets in each stitch around. And for this round, you should have a total of 16 stitches at the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And that is the end of that spot. So we'll slip stitch again, cut a 12-inch strand of yarn, pull that through. And there's our second sized spot. So you're going to need to make 2 of these. So just go back and make 1 more of those, and then we'll meet back here to make the final size spot. All right, and for the third spot, this is going to be the largest one. We're going to start off again with our magic ring. Inside the magic ring, we're going to place 8 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For round 2, we're going to do an increase round again. So 2 single crochets in each stitch for a total of 16 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. For row 3 of this spot, we're going to do the combination single crochet and increase. single crochet 1, increase, and we'll do this 8 times for a stitch count of 24 at the end, round 3. Single crochet, increase. All right, that is the end of the 3rd spot. So we'll just make a slip stitch here. Just cut our yarn, knot through. And this is our largest spot. So we're gonna make a total of 2 of these guys. And then once you've made all the spots, we'll meet back here to sew them on. All right, so once we have 2 large spots, 2 medium spots, and 3 small spots, we will gather them all up and we will go put them on our body. So where you place these guys, that's totally personal preference. I like to kind of lay it out so that I make sure that it's kind of even looking. But personally, I like to have one large spot on the front, on the, like kind of to the side a little bit. And I'm just gonna attach these down with the pins. I can always move them around. I'm just kind of roughly placing them. Then I'll take a medium one and I'm just gonna put it kind of a little bit above this one, like that. And then I just want to put one kind of on the neck here. Like that. That's kind of how I like to lay out my front. Now we have 3 of these little spots. So I usually like to do basically the exact same layout on the back. So I'm going to do a larger spot, kind of the same here on this side. It looks the same, but it's actually opposite of the other side. I'll put one medium guy here. Now I have my spot on my neck over here. So I'll probably just put one of these little guys over, I don't know, I kind of want to put one on the side of the neck here is what I'm thinking. And then this one can go like here or wherever. There's no, you know, has to go here for this. Like this can move down a bit and over. And that's kind of what we're looking like. So now I'm just gonna basically go through and I'm gonna sew these on with my darning needle. And I'll just remove the pins as I go. So I'm just going to go around and sew them on like this. I'm going to go sew these on off camera. So just sew on all of your spots and then we will meet back here when that's done. All right, and that is our finished giraffe. I just sewed on all the spots and I weaved in the ends. And there is what we're looking like, our little tail and all of our spots. I hope you guys really enjoyed this pattern. I know it's a giant one. It's one of my originals, but I still love it. And it would make such a great gift for a baby shower or for a child. So I hope you guys loved the pattern. Please let us know in the comments down below if there's any other patterns you're looking to see. Otherwise, we hope you guys have a lovely day and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!